Welcome to Taurus Astrology. What happens when Sun goes in the first house in your birth chart for all ascendants? Before going through all ascendants, what I would like to tell here is that if you want to know the prominent result of Sun, then you must have Sun's Mahadasha presently or upcoming Sun's Mahadasha of 6 years. Because in Sun's Mahadasha only, Sun is going to give prominent exact result because Mahadasha is the biggest timing that tells us what happens. Then comes Antardasha and Pratyantardasha. So if you presently have Sun's Mahadasha or upcoming Mahadasha in few decades, then that means you're going to get prominent results of Sun's position in your chart. While if you do not have, then obviously you're going to have Sun's Antardasha, Pratyantardasha. You will get some results, but not big results as Sun tells, Sun's position tells. So now let's start with Sun's position in first house for Aries Ascendant. When Sun goes in the first house for Aries Ascendant, then it's making a connection with first and fifth house. Fifth house being the Leo sign and Sun being in the first house here. So here it tells us that the native is very expressive in nature, very loving. The native has an individualistic nature, and the native is very creative in nature as well. The native has sense of witty, and the native is expressive nature, though it can also be told which the native is born in. If the native is born towards Astami, Navami, Dasami, Tithi, then that means the native has more expressive nature, but that is also correlated by Sun being in fifth house. Sun being in the fifth house means creativity, expression. So here it says that the native is expressing, loving, witty, and cheerful. Wherever the native goes, the native is very loving. Also, the first house also determines that the native has a bit of individualistic nature. The native is guided by their own principles and values. The native in Sun's Mahadasha will not only focus in creativity and expression in their love life, but also will focus on their health, in their well-being towards what their soul really wants. They will focus towards their soul's journey. So mainly it defines that. And also if the Sun is related with 11th house, 9th house, or 8th house, then here it shows that the native will be having beautiful romantic love relationships during that time. You can expect that the native will be having relationships as well. So overall, it tells us about these things. Thank you. What happens when Sun goes in the first house for Taurus Ascendant? In this position, it's making a connection with first and fourth house, which means that the native is going to have a bit of individualistic nature. If not connected with fifth house, 11th house, or seventh house, then it shows highly individualistic nature. The native loves to be by themselves, but because by doing this, it's making a connection with fourth house. It means that the native is going to explore peace. The native just wants peace, and the native wants no drama in their life. So this Sun Mahadasha is going to make the possibility of native finding different ways of finding peace of mind in their lives, and the native is going to find the purpose of finding that peace. And also if Sun is connected with 11th house, 12th house, 6th house, then it shows that the native, along with that, with connection of fourth house, along with the connection of those houses, it shows that the native is going to have purchase some vehicles or property in their life, either through loan or either through their own expenses. The native is going to purchase property. It also shows that the native is highly devoted to their family, to their mother, to their parents, and the native has responsibility towards their family in this period of time. Overall, it shows it rather than romantic gestures, romantic relationships having in this period, it just shows that the native is going to be very introspective, because it's not connected with fifth house, which is the house of love, seventh house, which is the house of partnerships, 11th house, which is the house of friendships. So if not connected with those houses and just connected with the fourth house, then it highly shows that the native is going to be introspective. The native is going to just want peace in their life, and the native is going to not be that emotional, but we're just wanting peace and exploring peace in their life. Thank you. Now, coming to Sun's position in first house for Gemini Ascendant. When Sun goes in the first house in Gemini Ascendant, it's making a connection with first house and third house, which means that in the Dasha of Sun, what you're going to do is you are going to explore yourself. You are going to make yourself better and better each time starting the Mahadasha. If you're in the phase of earning, then it also shows that you will either be connected in journalism, you'll be either connected in IT profession or any communication related field or any writing related field, in any media related field. So making a connection with third house here makes highly probable that you will work in these fields, but also it makes highly possible that you are eager to develop yourself. You just want to make yourself better, your personality better, either your health, your communication, your mental health. You just want to get better and better, because third house makes you do that. Third house makes you better each time, better with every lesson, better with every falls. So that is what you're going to get in this Dasha. Overall, it's a good time period for any native wanting to explore that in terms of better profession. If along with the connection of first and third house, if it is also connected with 11th house, then it shows that you want to flourish in terms of this field. You will do much better in terms of your profession, in terms of your life. So until and unless it's connected with 6th, 8th, 12th house, it shows that the native is very research oriented. The native can do very good in terms of journalism, which requires high research work, which requires high intense work. So looking at that, you can explore your field and you can know which field is better for you. Thank you. Now, coming to Cancer Ascendant, what happens when Sun goes in the first house for Cancer Ascendant? Here it's making a connection with first house and second house, which shows that in the Dasha of Sun, the native is going to individualize themselves, but is also going to idealize their life through family rules and values and security. The native is highly going to value the resources. If connected with 11th house, then it shows that the native is going to work very hard to collect resources, collect resources, have that monetary stability in their family, and also second house is there. So the native is, if the native was far from the family, then the native is going to be connected with their family members. In this position, it also shows that the native is going to have that emotional family love within that period of Sun Mahadasha. And also the native is going to work hard to have that resources collected. The native is going to be very busy if they are in the phase of working. And also, since the first house is reflected by Sun, so it also shows that the native is going to work very hard to know themselves, to know their personality, to know who they really are, and what they want in life. So since first house is connected with the second house, so they will be wanting to make themselves better and also have that security, family love, family security, and emotional security in their life, and also be very responsible in this dasha. They will also have a lot of responsibility of their family. So in this dasha of sun, if sun is in the first house for Cancer Ascendant, you can expect responsibility towards family as well. And if connected with good houses like 11th house, then you can expect good monetary gains, while if connected with bad houses like 6, 8, and 12, then you can expect some uh, some uh, some some bad dynamics having in your family, any health issues in your family, any trauma in your family. While also, if 11th house connected, then it shows that although those bad things happen, you will eventually rise through those problems. So eventually, it happens for good. Thank you. So now coming to Sun in first house for Leo Ascendant. Here prominently showing first house, which shows that in the Dasha of Sun of 6 years, what you will gain is you will explore who you really are, what you truly want, what truly makes you happy, what truly makes you feel fulfilled in this life. So in the Dashal Sun, what you're going to explore is yourself. You will highly be focused on yourself. You will learn what you want in this life. You will learn your physical body. You will learn your mind. You will learn your nature, and you will learn what truly makes you happy, and you may hear other people's opinion, and they matter, but what truly matters is yours. What truly matters is your soul's decision. So if first house is connected with ninth house, fifth house, 11th house, then it shows that along with that individualistic nature, you also value religion, you value God, you value friends, you value people you love. But if connected with fourth house, 10th house, then it highly shows that for you, societal reputation matters, peace of mind matters, but what truly matters is your own opinion, is what you truly want. So in this dasha, if connected with just first house, then it shows that you will always be led by your own decisions, whether good or bad, no matter what. You will always be led by your own decisions, and you will explore what you truly want in this life. You will go through introspection. You will go through many things in life. You may, if you had relationships, if not connected with seventh house from any way, then it shows that the native will lose relationships, the native will lose partnerships, the native will lose friendships, and the native is going to only focus on themselves. Though Sun being in the first house shows a royal personality. In this position, the native can go along with everyone. The native values friendships because a king values everyone. So, though they do that, but deep inside, what they crave is their individualistic nature. They love to be by themselves in this dasa. Thank you. Now, going towards Virgo Ascendant. What happens when Sun goes in the first house for Virgo Ascendant? In this position, Sun is making a connection with first and 12th house. In this dasha, what you can expect is you can expect the native going through a lot of transformation in their life. So prominently it can be seen that the native goes through a lot of losses in their life, which makes the native have introspection, and the native goes through a deep setback, and the native goes through a deep realization through isolation, and through the losses they face. The native now explores who they really are through spirituality, through isolation, through these practices. The native wants to be spiritually involved. The native wants to be away from their family, and also it shows that the native is obviously going to stay away from their family, away from their homeland in this dasha, because it's not connected with fourth house, so, or second house. So the native is going to be away from everyone and be in their isolation, and the native is going to explore what life truly is, and what life truly means, and what their purpose in this life. So basically it's a position for someone in this dasha. If someone didn't explore spiritualism, then in this dasha there is high chance that the native is going to explore spiritualism. The native is going to explore beyond the physical world what other things exist. So the native is going to explore that. The native is going to explore peace of mind. The native is going to um, explore the fact that even without being in a group of people, just by being yourself, how you can be happy and how you can make your soul happy rather than all. So it's a good position for this. And if along with first and 12th houses indirectly, if connected with sixth house, eighth house, then it shows that the native is very much interested in astrology. The native is very deep research type of person. The native loves to explore things, and if connected with sixth house here, 11th house here, then it shows that the native will be working in health related profession. Health related profession or astrology related profession really suits them. So overall, spiritually, overall astrologically, overall health profession point of view, it is very good. So it is good for these fields. Thank you. Now coming to what happens when Sun goes in the first house for Libra Ascendant. Here it's making a connection with first and 11th house, which shows that the native highly values friendship. The native loves to be in a group of people. The native also has a bit of individualistic aura, but the native thrives in a group of people. The native thrives in friendships. The native may be the head of any group they form, because they have that aura, because they have that leadership, they have that responsibility towards their friends and group of people every time. So they are a bit of extrovert in this dasha. Especially you can predict that in this dasha the native is going to find a group of people, or the native is going to also work in a large organization and maybe have a bit of responsible work there, maybe work as a head of something and have responsibility towards that organization. And if connected with second house here, then it becomes very good position for profession point of view. The native is going to work hard through either business, partnership, especially if connected with 7th house, then the native is going to work in business, partnerships. Not only that, it's going to be good in terms of marriage and relationships as well. So if connected with 7th house indirectly, then it also shows that the native is not only going to have that business and partnerships, but also have the yoga of marriage. And in this Dasha, until and unless not connected with 6th, 8th, and 12th house or 10th house, or then it also shows that the native is going to have good marriage life. But since first sun is connected with the first house here, so it shows that a bit of individualistic nature, a bit of egoistic nature the native has. So the remedy would be that the native must have control of their ego when it comes to relationship. So in terms of friendships, it's very good. And if connected with 5th house indirectly, then it shows that the native is going to have good relationships, fulfilling relationships, long-term relationships in this dasha. Overall, when disconnected with 1st and 11th house, it shows gains, it shows personal development through relationships, partnerships, through friendships, and through large organizations. So the native will also be wanting to help people, serve people. Every time the native has very giving nature, the native has loving nature with a bit of individualistic nature in this dasha. Thank you. Now, what happens when Sun goes in the first house for Scorpio Ascendant? When Sun goes in the first house for Scorpio Ascendant, it's making a connection with 1st and 10th house. And if we know the core nature of a Scorpion, then they always hide their true personality from the society, from other people, because it's connected with 10th house. In 10th house, pick in the Leo sign, no matter where the sun is. But since sun is the Atmakaraka and Leo sign being in the 10th house, it makes the native naturally want to have that aura of Scorpion in the 10th house, that is their social life. So that's the reason they always hide their personality when it comes to society, because that's the true nature of a Scorpion. And when highly connected with their personality, the first house with the 10th house, then it shows that the native is highly wants social reputation, that social prestige, feels responsible towards the society, but also has that mystic aura. And the people around them may love them, may find them very responsible, may find them very loving, kind, but that's not their personality. Their true nature is always hidden from the society because of the Scorpion ascendant nature. In this dasha, what you can expect is that the native is going to be in some service oriented field. The native is going to have a very good reputation in the society. The native is going to have career stability. Then, because of sun's nature, the native is going to have good reputation. Moreover, like it can be a politician who wants good position, and or some social worker, or someone who wants to serve the society. So moreover, in this dasha, it tells us that it's a chart of a person who is highly respected by the society, especially in this dasha. If connected with 11th house, moreover, the native is going to shine in terms of professional development, personal development. But if not connected with 7th house, 5th house, or two or second house, then it shows that the native, though, will have that that have public love, but in their profession, in their love life, in their relationships, they are going to suffer. So in order to maintain that, you will also be needing to have that good relationship within the family and be responsible, give good time in the family. Thank you. Now, coming to what happens when Sun goes in the first house for Sagittarius Ascendant, here it's making a connection with first and ninth house. Here it shows that the native is highly spiritual in nature, highly religious in nature, that what adds to their personality, though the native is highly loving, caring, individualistic by nature, that Sun being in the first house and Sagittarius Sun being in the first house as well, shows that the native highly values rules, regulations, the native highly values laws, and the native is very righteous, especially if Jupiter goes to good houses, then especially if goes to fifth house, seventh house, 11th house, it shows that the native is very righteous, the native is very loving, caring. Also, Jupiter being in the 8th house or 12th house, it shows that then along with very religious nature, very spiritual nature, the native has a bit of depth and is very research oriented person. The native loves to explore things. In this Dasha of Sun of 6 years, you can expect that the native is going to explore themselves through religion. The native is going to love serving God, love being with the higher power, and also the native is going to value rules and regulations because that's going to shape native's personality. It also shows that in this dasha, the native will be connected with their father, and the native is going to be guided by their father's principles, by their uh, f- father's by their father's effort. The native is also going to get some gains in their life. The native is going to explore their life. The native is going to make their life better. So overall, this is the Shah, where the native is going to follow the righteous path. The native is going to explore, if connected with 12th house or third house, the native is going to explore traveling. The native is going to explore higher truths of life. And if the native is going, if the native, if in this dasha, if it is indirectly connected with fifth house, then it also shows that the native is going to have a very loving relationship in this dasha. So overall, more than any games or any relationships, partnership, just with the first house and ninth house, it shows that the native is positively going to make their soul better, soul feel fulfilled through practicing religion and being connected to that higher power in this dasha. Now, coming to what happens when Sun goes in the first house for Capricorn Ascendant. Capricorn Ascendant. Capricorn Ascendant mainly being someone who has faced a lot of challenges in their early life, who who values practicality, who is very hardworking, and in that, the first house lord, that is Sun, having a connection with the eighth house here, it shows that the native has faced much of transformation already in their life. The native is very, very research oriented. The native loves to research. The native loves to know the depth. The native loves to value truth. The native may have some hidden trust related issues with everyone because of the connection with the eighth house here. And in this Dasha, what you can expect is you can expect that the native will go through some transformation. If connected with seven, if eighth house was connected with second house, then you could expect that the native would have transformation through their family. If connected with fifth house, it could have been the native would have transformed through children or love. And if connected with seventh house, then it could have been transformed with relationships. But being connected with first house here shows that the native, through their physical body, through themselves, the native is going to have an event that is going to transform themselves. The native is going to transform themselves, that they are going to be more responsible, and the native are going to learn from that. And the native is, if sun is positive in the chart, then native is going to get better. That means if connected with 11th house or 9th house, it means that the native is going to take that event as a positive thing and going to make themselves better. And also what it truly favors, if the native works in any emergency area and hospital, in if the native gets connected with with hospitals or any emergency fields. Such fields are favorable during this dasha and will eliminate the negative results of connection with the eighth house of sun. Also, the native can be highly good in terms of research related fields, in terms of astrology as well. If connected with 12th house with 9th house, the native can do good in this field as well. Thank you. Now, coming to what happens when Sun goes in first house for Aquarius Ascendant. In this position, Sun is making a connection with first house and seventh house. It shows that partnerships, relationships are highly valued by the native. They feel responsible towards their partner, towards any business. So in this dasha, you will see that the native will be joining any partnerships, any businesses. Also, if not connected with 6th, 8th, and 12th houses, then it shows that the native are going to have good gains from that as well. And also, if in this dasha, you can see that the native are going to highly value partnerships, their businesses, their partners, and make themselves better through the help of their partners. So they are going to be interconnected, and and the native is going to find themselves through that partnerships, through that business. If connected with eighth house, then here what you need to see is you need to really see your ego, your anger, because it shows a bit of aggressive nature in this dasha. If connected with 11th house, if connected with second house, then it shows that the native, especially if connected with the fifth house as well, it shows that the native is going to have loving, caring nature during this dasha, and it supports good harmony in terms of business, partnerships, and relationships. So these are the things it supports in this dasha. And for this, if sun is making connection with the seventh house, then though it supports, but it also shows some ego and attitude, since sun wants to be alone. So in order to have good result of this dasha, then you must lower your ego and value other people's opinion as well. Thank you. Now, coming to what happens when Sun goes in the first house for Pisces Ascendant. When Sun goes in the first house for Pisces Ascendant, it shows that it's making a connection with first house and sixth house. Here it shows a native who is very competitive in nature. In this dasha, you'll be highly competitive, exploring yourself, very wanting to win any competition, and also responsible towards your relatives, responsible towards your towards the relatives of your mother's side. You'll highly be responsible, and responsibility may come towards you, towards responsibility may come for you towards them. So in this dasha, you will be helping them, you will be serving them. But also, if you have any exams to crack, if, especially if indirectly connected with 11th house as well, then it shows that you will do very good in terms of in terms of any service oriented work you wanted to get in any job you wanted to get in, because it makes you very competitive. But in terms of relationships, it gives you some insecurity, it gives you some unfulfilled feeling, that you feel that you don't want to be in that relationship. So for this, you must practice mindfulness meditation during this dasha, because in terms of relationships, you are going to have some trouble. So if you practice mindfulness, if you practice patience, then these things may lower, the negative things may lower, and you may do with good profession. You will be having good relationship as well. Thank you. So this was my interpretation for Sun in first house for all ascendants. Thank you.